Well, greetings and welcome into Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 141 today. I don't know about you, but I think I hear some music that can only mean one thing. It's time for the great, the terrific, the completely over the top, fully clothes free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. And here she is, the one of a kind, the completely over the top, the fully clothes free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
I'm doing very, very well, Frank. How about yourself?
Not bad at all. Still getting outside naked as a jaybird and loving every second of it. Not bragging because of the weather. I'm just stating my case as to why I am just overjoyed with joy. How about that?
Wow, you 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 got up on the right side of the bed apparently this morning or something. Good, quite enthusiastic there.
Now, let's get back to this story we addressed recently about the Blind Creek Nudists being arrested. And I had a few things to say on that show, and I made it very clear we don't have all the details. We have very little details at the time.
So, if these were innocent bystanders, they weren't where they were supposed to be, but if they got caught up in this because there were other problems, and that is, a very unfortunate thing, at the least. But if they knew, and they didn't care, and they just thought the sheriffs would keep looking the other way, and that they thought, well, I'm not going down there. I'm not going to walk that far. Then I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for them.
Well, Lisa Monroe, with that, we're going to head for the hills and get to part one of my interview with David Berry and Gary KIGHT. Promise to stay clothes free. We'll see you at the end of the show.
Absolutely. I'll be back.
All right. Well, you are listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 141 today. Really glad that you are with us, enjoying this hour together, clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. And now let's get to part one of my interview with David Berry and Gary KIGHT from First Coast Naturists, a non-landed nudist club in the Jacksonville, Florida area. Do you remember what triggered it for you to go from that environment to, hey, I think I'll try Cypress Cove here and see what happens? What got you to even think about trying it?
When I was a middle to late teenager, my parents bought a rural farm. That we had no neighbors whatsoever. I mean, I could do whatever I wanted to. I would just lay out naked and get a suntan, which I felt, felt freeing. It felt invigorating, and it just led to that. And then as I got older, I'm like, oh, I want to try this to see what this is about. And like I said, I ended up going to Cypress Cove and fell in love with it, so to speak.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Dave Berry, the founder of First Coast Naturists. Let me ask you the same question. How did you discover naturism? How did you get into this?
This is kind of a funny story that goes back to when I was a kid. My dad ran a lumber yard out in California, and there were sacks of redwood lumber all over the place. When we lived right next to the lumber yard, and whenever my parents would go somewhere, go out to the store or shopping or whatever, I would go to the lumber yard and take my clothes off and run around in the lumber yard. And I could go from stack to stack without being seen by anybody because we were out in the country.
Yeah.
And then I joined the Navy and I had some experiences in northern Mississippi with friends and my first wife at a lake. We kind of skinny dipped. And then later on in Lake Tahoe with a girlfriend, and later on I'm trying to think, in Nevada, we found some hot springs. So a little bit at a time. And then when I retired from the Navy, I met a couple he was ex-Navy also, and he said, and I had mentioned to him that I had experiences, and they said, well, come with us. We'll go down to Sunny Sands in Pearson, and that was really my first public exposure to it. And it was kind of funny. I kept the Times Union Sunday newspaper on my lap for about a half hour, sitting out by the pool because I was a little bit nervous. A lot of enforcement on the beaches is from nudists ourselves. Peer pressure. We see somebody who's acting out on the beach, doing something he shouldn't do, we are the first ones to report that to a park ranger and get him or them out of there. We don't want that on the beach. We don't want that threatening our privileges on that beach. And I do consider them privileges. There's no absolute right to be nude, but if we are good nudists and we behave properly, we're going to become more and more accepted and have places set aside for us where it's appropriate. And that's the important thing.
The very terrific David Berry and Gary KIGHT from the First Coast Naturists in Jacksonville, Florida, a terrific non-landed nudist club, well-run, highly organized, lots of activities, and spreading the joys of naturism, nudism, clothes-free living for all. And on next Saturday's show, which will be episode 143, part 2 with Dave Berry and Gary KIGHT. And before we head for the hills, before we get ready for our Wednesday show in just a few days, let's bring back our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Welcome back, Lisa.
It's good to be back. And that was a great first part of that interview. I'm looking forward to part 2. Yeah. These guys have it going on. They just really are enjoying life and the way that they're practicing naturism. And I think it's great.
Looking forward to part 2 of my interview with David Berry and Gary KIGHT on next week's show. And Lisa Monroe, with that, let's head for the hills. We'll start getting ready for Wednesday's show. And if you promise to stay clothes-free, we'll let you go until Wednesday. How about that?
Oh, well, thank you very much, because I'm always promised to stay clothes-free, and you do the same.
Sounds good. Well, you've been listening to Naked, Nudist, and Naturist, episode 141 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, and on most Wednesdays, 12 noon Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, any place. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here, and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked, and join us again for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist. Have a great clothes-free day.